Good day, everyone, and welcome to another exciting vocabulary lesson. This is Mr. Stitt, and today we're going over week 7 for my 8th grade students. And the words this week are brambles, belligerent, spritely, mongrel, sleuth, and surmise. So let's get into the words for week 7. So the first word this week is brambles. Brambles. Now this is a noun, so it's a thing, and it's a prickly plant or bush. You've probably experienced a bramble before if you took a walk in nature, and you can see here it's a very sharp and prickly type stem on a bush. It could be the leaves itself can have a little bit of a prickly part to it, but it's typically the branch that has these sort of thorns or sharp edges. There's certain plants that have this, like a rose has very brambly type branches, and it really hurts when you touch it or you get close to it. So in a sentence I might say, I walked through the forest and my legs were scratched up by the brambles on the plant. Synonyms of this word would be burr, briar, hedge, nettle, thistle, and thorn. Brambles. The next word this week is belligerent. Belligerent. Now this is an adjective, so it describes someone or something, and it means to be hostile and aggressive. So as you can see in this image here, two people yelling at each other, they're being very belligerent towards one another. You might see someone be belligerent in traffic as they're driving. They might roll down their window and say something mean and nasty to another person. You might see somebody in public at a store being really rude and disrespectful. That would be belligerent. So anytime someone's being hostile or aggressive, we're describing them as being belligerent. I might use it in a sentence by saying, the man in traffic was belligerent towards me by honking his horn and yelling mean things. Synonyms for this word would be aggressive, combative, hostile, ornery, and quarrelsome. Belligerent. The next word this week is spritely. Spritely, and it's pretty much the exact opposite of belligerent. And it's also an adjective, so it describes a person or thing, and it means lively and full of life. This girl in this image here is very sprightly. She's excited. She's happy. She might have a really funny personality. She might have just won something, like maybe the lottery, or maybe she's spending time with a friend and she's so excited about it. She's being very sprightly. A good sentence for this might be, my daughter was very sprightly when I took her to Chuck E. Cheese. Or the man was sprightly when his team won the game. Synonyms would be agile, bouncy, cheerful, energetic, lively, playful, and zippy. Spritely. The next word this week is mongrel. Mongrel. Now this is a noun, so this is a thing. And more specifically, it's an inferior dog or one of mixed breed. So let me be more specific. Some people might like mongrels, so they might not feel like they are inferior. But in terms of the traditional dog breeds, a mongrel is seen as a less wanted dog. It's not a purebred dog. It's an inferior dog. Maybe it's some people might call it a mutt. Like in this picture here, it's unclear what breed of dog this actually is. It's not a golden retriever. It's not a chihuahua. It's some sort of mixture of dogs. So I might say, I saw a mongrel running through the streets of my neighborhood. That would be a great sentence using the word mongrel. A synonym for this word would be cross, crossbreed, half-breed, mutt, or mixed breed. Mongrel. The next word this week is sleuth. Sleuth. You're probably familiar with this word. It's a noun, so it's a person, and it's an investigator or a detective. And I might say Sherlock Holmes was a great sleuth, for he solved many challenging mysteries. So it's anyone who's an investigator or a detective. Synonyms for this word would be detective, private eye, agent, cop, investigator, spy, or PI, which is short for private investigator. Sleuth. All right, the last word this week is surmise, and this is a verb, so it's something that you do. It's an action, and surmise means to guess or suppose that something is true without having evidence to confirm it. So it's when you guess or you predict or you infer something, you come to some sort of conclusion. So I might say, my daughter walked into the room with markers in her hand, so I surmised that she was the one who drew all over the wall. So I'm taking something as a clue and I'm guessing, I'm making an inference based on the clues that I have. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm surmising, I'm guessing based on the clues. So a good synonym would be assume, guess, infer, opinion, presuppose, speculate, theorize, and predict, surmise. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. This was here's a summary of the words we learned this week. These are my 8th grade words for week 7, and the words were brambles, belligerent, spritely, mongrel, sleuth, and surmise. Thanks again for joining us. I hope to see you next time. Bye.